I've seen the regret on people's faces when they buy a cheap drone that can barely hover for 10 minutes, then crashes the first time they try a smooth pan. The disappointment isn't just about a broken toy, it's the missed shot, the wasted weekend, and the lingering doubt that maybe they're not cut out for aerial photography at all. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So the question is, does the DJI Mavic 4 Pro Creator Combo feel like the smarter buy? Or is it just another high-price promise that leaves you paying for features you'll never actually use? When I first started looking at the Mavic 4 Pro, the biggest hesitation I felt was the classic, do I really need this level of hardware for my projects? I'm not a full-time cinematographer, but I do shoot travel videos, weddings, and a few freelance commercials. I needed something that could reliably deliver crisp stills, stable video, and enough flight time to get a full day of shots without constantly swapping batteries. At the same time, I was wary of overpaying for a system that might be overkill for my workflow, especially when cheaper alternatives like the Mavic 3 Classic or even some third-party mini drones promise good enough for social media. The first thing I noticed about the Mavic 4 Pro is how it handles the most basic task a drone can do: stay level and lock onto a subject. The dual telephoto lenses give you a respectable zoom range without sacrificing the tight, buttery smooth gimbal movement DJI markets as Infinity Gimbal 360 rotation. In practice, that means when I was filming a cliffside sunrise, I could start with a wide 35mm equivalent frame, then slide the telephoto in for a dramatic close-up of the wave-crashing rockfall without the wobble you see on cheaper models that rely on a 2-axis stabilization system. The footage stayed rocksteady even when the wind nudged the craft at around 12 miles per hour. Autofocus confidence is another real-world litmus test. The 100-megapixel Hasselblad sensor is a beast on paper, but if the AF never finds focus before you press record, it's just a brag. I found the AF to be surprisingly fast in bright daylight. It locked onto a moving subject in under a second, which is crucial when you're tracking a surfer or a cyclist. In lower light, think dusk or a cityscape with streetlights, the AF does get a little tentative, but the 0.1 lux night vision mode steps in. I tested it on a dimly lit rooftop party, and the camera managed to pull usable footage without the typical grain that cheap drones spew when you push the ISO. The night vision isn't a full-blown thermal sensor, but it does give you enough luminance to keep the gimbal stable and the AF hunting in the dark. Stabilization isn't just about a smooth shot, it's about confidence that the drone won't wobble out of frame when you're focusing on composition. The Mavic 4 Pro's 3-axis gimbal paired with the Active Track 360 algorithm kept a toddler's swing in perfect center even as we moved the drone forward and back. For creators who need to hand off footage to editors with tight deadlines, that reliability means less time in post-stabilizing and more time telling a story. Battery confidence is a recurring pain point in the drone world. The advertised 51-minute flight time feels generous, but real-world numbers often dip lower. In my field tests shooting a half-day of varied terrain, from open fields to urban canyons, the battery consistently gave me around 44 minutes before the low battery warning kicked in. That's still a solid buffer compared to the 30-minute ceiling on older models, and it translates to roughly 2 full take-and-shoot cycles before you need to swap. The Mavic 4 Pro's battery management UI is straightforward, a single bar that changes color and a clear estimate of remaining flight minutes, which is less confusing than the nested menus you see on some competitors. Transmission is another practical concern. DJI's O4 Plus video link promises up to 30 kilometers range, but most of us never need that far. What matters is signal stability at typical working distances of 25 kilometers. During a test over a lake, the live feed remained crisp with zero latency, even when I angled the drone to look back at the controller. The remote, the DJI RC Pro 2, feels like a small tablet with dedicated sticks, and the built-in screen eliminates the need for a phone, great for those who dislike juggling extra devices. Now, who should actually consider spending the premium on this combo? If you're a professional creator, think commercial videographers, documentary shooters, or high-end travel influencers who need top-tier image quality, reliable low-light performance, and a robust zoom suite, the Mavic 4 Pro checks the boxes. Its 100MP stills can be downsampled for large format prints, and the 6K per 60 frames per second HDR video gives you flexibility for color grading. The ability to switch seamlessly between the wide Hasselblad sensor and the telephoto lenses means you can cover a broader storytelling range without swapping hardware mid-flight. On the other side, if you're a beginner who just wants to capture a few Instagram reels or a hobbyist who enjoys occasional aerial shots on weekends, the Mavic 4 Pro might feel like an overinvestment. The price point reflects the advanced